Alright, so one thing that a lot of fans are very skeptical about when it comes to the future of Star Wars all has to do with the fact that Kathleen Kennedy has creative control over 2 Star Wars TV series. That, of course, is the Leslie Hedlund Star Wars TV show, and now a brand new animated TV series that's going to make its way over on Disney Plus that will have a similar animation style to that of the Clone Wars / Star Wars Rebels. This is Mike Zeroh. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, I brought this up many times before in the past that the way I see Disney Star Wars, at least in the past, the future seems to be quite okay so far. But in the past, it's always been hit or miss when it came to their movies and other projects out there, right? Such as a great example, The Last Jedi being the very film that derailed the franchise, and The Rise of Skywalker that attempted to undo specific aspects of The Last Jedi that didn't really seem to succeed all that well, at least in my opinion. But when we look at everything related to Kathleen Kennedy, of course, we do know that she has poor leadership skills as the president of Lucasfilm, not only for choosing Leslie Hedlund to take on a brand new Star Wars TV series, given that she was once the personal assistant of Harvey Weinstein. It's not really the best image for Disney to handle, and it's one of the main reasons as to why Bob Iger and Bob Capek are very frustrated over Kennedy's decision of hiring Hedlund and putting her into the contract of this TV show for 1 season. So far, 1 season. Hopefully it doesn't go beyond this, because this TV show is going to focus primarily on identity politics beyond the story. So, the one thing I will say that has progressed with this TV show, and honestly, they gotta make it stop, at least in my opinion. I don't know if you guys agree with me on this, but now that both Bob Iger and Bob Capek are able to focus on the future of Star Wars, they are said to have big plans for the Star Wars trilogy and the new universe in general for the fans to enjoy. Since Kathleen Kennedy lost her creative freedom over Star Wars for the most part, she is now only in control over 2 TV shows. That is the Leslie Hedlund Star Wars TV series and the animated TV show for Disney Plus as well, that will reveal a brand new timeline to the fans around the world. Currently, it's explained that Kathleen Kennedy recently hired Ruby Rose from the Batwoman TV series that has gotten tons of criticism from watchers and from non-fans even as well, where Kennedy is said to want to give Ruby Rose a chance for the Leslie Hedlund Star Wars TV series, and that Hedlund loved the Batwoman TV show and feels that Ruby Rose deserves better. So let me just say one thing right here, is that this seems like a major mistake. Please make it stop, Disney. You know, I think that this is the one problem with, of course, the Leslie Hedlund Star Wars show, is that they're making all the wrong decisions. I don't know if on purpose or if they're just pretty much, you know, too out there to even realize of what they're really doing here. But this is, of course, Kennedy and Leslie's way to give Ruby Rose a dose of redemption by including her in a role for the Star Wars franchise as either a villain or a hero, as a lead role in the TV series for Disney Plus alongside with Brie Larson. Ruby Rose is said to have great interest in joining the Star Wars franchise since she loved working on John Wick Chapter 2 and plans to return in John Wick Chapter 4 sometime in the near future. One thing I will say, and I gotta be honest with you guys, I really believe that Ruby Rose was quite okay in John Wick Chapter 2. It's in fact the first movie that I saw her in. I wasn't really feeling her in the Meg. She didn't really have all that much dialogue, but I feel that, you know, in Batwoman, if you have given it a little bit of a chance, it's a disaster. Just please don't even try to go ahead and watch it. It's a failure at that, and I'm actually quite shocked that Kennedy would be so misguided to the point where she would even want Ruby Rose on board for this TV series. But that's just my take on things. So, of course, you know, however, many fans are against this decision to include Rose, given that Batwoman was one of the biggest failures in television, and a show that was full of identity politics, which is what Leslie Hedlund wants to do for Star Wars to its maximum, where the TV series is said to begin filming sometime in 2021, and that Kennedy and Hedlund are very excited for Ruby Rose to become a part of Star Wars for a high-intensity trained role, which could indicate a bounty hunter, a Jedi, or a dark side user, possibly. You know, given that she had a lot of training for John Wick Chapter 2, and is going to be a part of John Wick Chapter 4 as well in 21 or 22, depending on when they get The Matrix 4 done, where Keanu Reeves has more time. Ruby Rose is not a fit for Star Wars, at least in my book. I don't know about you guys, but I just feel that this is not going in the right direction. It's almost like Hedlund and Kennedy are doing these decisions on purpose to kind of throw off the quote-unquote, as they see, toxic fans, which are just passionate fans in my opinion. They want to create new fans, and this has actually been made public a long time ago, is that Kennedy wants to create new fans with, of course, the handful of projects that she's working on. So, Ruby Rose, Brie Larson, these two actresses, I just feel are not a fit for Star Wars. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about here. If you guys want to let me know in on this in the comments, but I think it's a terrible decision. I think it's pretty much, you know, leading me to believe that it's just not going to do well at all in any way, shape, or form. So with that being said, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.